Hello, welcome back to Revised You, the learning platform, where you can access a lot of learning materials through online as well as offline. So, guys, we were discussing about the basis of classification in the last series, and we have discussed a lot of criteria to classify animals. And in today, we are going to summarize all these points that we have discussed so far. So, let's start. And what was the first point that we have discussed in the previous sessions? Do you remember those points? Yes, we have discussed in the first session about the habitat, mode of living and orientation of animals. So based on this, we can classify animals into several groups, right? What was the habitats we discussed? Yes, we have discussed about aquatic habitat, terrestrial habitats and like aerial habitats. In that also, the terrestrial habitat is divided into several categories, right? And there is a lot of types of modes of living also. We have discussed about scansorial and we have discussed arboreal. Do you remember? Yeah. And about the habitat, we have discussed that freshwater habitat, marine habitat, etc. So that's about the first point. Now coming to the second point. Do you remember the body segmentation? We have discussed about the metamerically segmented animals and the term like somites. What are somites? Yeah, the repeated segments, like the repeated segments of body, right? And we have also discussed what? Yeah, appendages also, right? What are appendages? They are the protruding structures coming out from the main body part, and they also serve in locomotion, feeding and reproduction, right? I guess you guys are remembering those terms. Now, coming to the third point, which is body skeleton. Yeah, based on body skeleton, we are divided animals into how much categories? Yeah, two categories. That is animals having an exoskeleton and animals with an endoskeleton, right? So what are the examples for exoskeleton having animals? Yeah, almost all the invertebrates are coming under this category. Now what about endoskeleton having animals? Yes, vertebrates are coming under this category. So clear? Okay, fine. Now what is the next point? Yeah, based on the formation of mouth, we have classified animals into two. What are they? What are the classifications? What are the categories? Yeah, deuterostomes and protostomes, right? What are protostomes? When there is the formation of mouth first, which means when mouth is formed from the blastophore first, then they are called protostomes. When mouth is formed secondary, but anus is formed from the blastophore, then it is called deuterostomes, right? Yes, I know you remember all this. Now, what is the next point? Yes, based on the mode of running, we have classified animals into three, right? What are they? Yeah, plantigrade animals which use their whole palm, the whole sole of the palm for walking, like examples are squirrels, and digitigrade animals like dogs, right? They use their toes for walking. Now, unculigrade. What are they? They use the tip of their toes for walking, like horses and cheetahs, cats, etc. So, these are the three categories coming under the mode of running. Now, what is the next point? Yeah, it is the level of organization. We have classified animals based on the level of organization into cellular level, as in sponges, and we have classified tissue level organisms as in coelentrates, and we have the next category which is organ level, which is included some of the platyhelminthes, right, flatworms. And next comes the organ system level, where several organs are formed to, or several organs are grouped together to form an organ system. So these were the level of organization in animals, and we have classified animals based on these points. Now, moving to the next slide. See, what is the next point? Yeah, it is based on body symmetry. We have classified animals based on body symmetry into what? Yeah, we have classified animals into radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Radial and biradial symmetry are the same, right? So bilateral symmetry and pentamerous radial symmetry, etc. So these were based on the symmetry of the body. Like when we are cutting through specific axis, we are getting similar halves or equal parts, then we classify them on the basis of the parts. It's about body symmetry. Now, what is the second point? Sorry, next point. Yeah, based on the germ layers. Yeah, what was the germ layers? What were the 3 germ layers in gastrula? Do you remember? Yeah, the outermost ectoderm, and the middle mesoderm, and the third one is the endoderm. So you remember these points, right? So based on the presence or absence of these layers, we have classified animals into diploblastic. What were diploblastic animals? Yeah, they have only ectoderm and endoderm. Instead of mesoderm, they have a mesoglia. And the second category was triploblastic animals. What was they? Yeah, they have all these 3 layers in their gastrula. So that's about germ layers. What is the next point here? Yeah, it is about coelom. Based on the coelom, we have classified animals into 3. Yeah, the first category is coelomate animals, which is having a true coelom, and the next category is acoelomate animals, which is having no coelom, and the final category was pseudocoelomate animals, which means they have a coelom which is formed from rather than mesoderm, right? The coelom is not formed from mesoderm but is endodermal in origin. So they are known as pseudocoelomate animals. Now, the next point is notochord. It is very simple, right? Yeah. Based on notochord, we have classified animals into chordates and non-chordates. Yeah. So this is about notochord. I think you remember these points in detail. Okay. Now, what is the next point? Yeah. In the nature of blood vascular systems, it is of 2 types, which is open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. In open circulatory system, there is no ducts or vessels, right? In closed, there is ducts or vessels present for the conduction of blood. So that's about the blood vascular systems. Now, based on the mode of excretion, we have categorized animals into 3, which is ammonotelic animals, and ureotelic animals, and uricotelic animals, right? Here the excretory product is ammonia, and here the excretory product is urea. Okay, and the final, here the excretory product is uric acid. Clear? So based on this, we have also classified animals. Now, the final point is the nature of blood. We have classified animals into two types here, which are warm-blooded animals or cold-blooded animals. And in cold-blooded animals, we have studied two phenomena known as hibernation and estivation. Yes. So, this is about the basis of classification. Still, there is a lot of other factors, other criteria to classify animals, but for us, this is enough. We have discussed a lot of points, and based on these points, we can classify animals. We can group animals into several groups so that we can identify the animal and study the animal and understand them very easily. So, this is about basis of classification. In the next session, we will be continuing the other portions of this chapter, which is the classification of animals. Right? We are going to study the different groups of animals in a brief account, and also we have to study each group and their peculiar characters. So, until the next session, bye-bye, take care and stay safe.